The aliens attacked human colonies. Then the dragons woke up the Vexari Dominion. The Vexari Dominion had expected an easy conquest. Their intelligence suggested that the human colonial outposts beyond the Orion Arm were poorly defended, populated mostly by civilians with minimal military presence. For a species that had conquered 17 worlds across 3 star systems, these isolated human settlements seemed like ripe fruit waiting to be plucked. Admiral Krell stood on the command deck of the Inevitable Victory, his primary flagship. As the holographic displays showed the smoking ruins of New Haven Colony, the operation had been swift and efficient, a textbook invasion. Only token resistance had been mounted before the colony fell. "Sweep complete, Admiral," reported his second-in-command. "We've secured all strategic points. Casualty reports indicate minimal losses on our side." Krill nodded, with satisfaction. "And the humans, those who resisted, have been eliminated. The rest will be processed according to protocol." The Admiral turned his attention to the tactical display. "Prepare for Phase 2. The Collins settlement is next." None of the Vexari officers noticed the small unmarked shuttle that slipped away from New Haven's ruins, vanishing into the darkness of space. On Earth, the Emergency Council convened within 30 minutes of receiving the distress signal from New Haven. The chamber was silent as Admiral Thomas West, commander of the United Earth Defense Fleet, delivered his report. "New Haven Colony has fallen," he said gravely. "Initial reports suggest a full-scale invasion by an unknown alien force. Based on survivor descriptions, we believe it's the Vexari Dominion." Council leader Blake leaned forward. "Casualties?" "Over 2,000 confirmed dead. Many more missing." A heavy silence fell across the room. For over a century, humanity had expanded, cautiously into the stars, establishing peaceful relations with most sentient species they encountered. The attack was unprecedented in recent history. "And our response options?" asked Blake. Admiral West's expression hardened. "The 7th Fleet is closest, positioned near Proxima Centauri. They can reach the sector within 48 hours. "Only the 7th? Questioned another council member. "That's barely 6 capital ships." For the first time since entering the chamber, Admiral West smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. 6 ships will be more than sufficient to demonstrate our initial displeasure. On the colony world of Collins, the settlers had received emergency broadcasts from New Haven. Unlike their neighbors, they had time. Not much, but enough. Governor Reed oversaw the evacuation of civilians to the emergency bunkers beneath the colony's main administrative complex. A former military officer, Reed harbored no illusions about their chances of repelling an invasion. "The last transport is away," reported his security chief. "All non-essential personnel are either evacuated or in the bunkers." Reed nodded, watching the sensor displays. "And our guests?" "In position, waiting for your signal." "Let's hope it works," Reed said quietly. "Because if it doesn't, there won't be a second chance." 3 hours later, the Vexari fleet emerged from FTL on the edge of the Collins system. Admiral Krell was pleased to see no signs of a coordinated defense. Perhaps the humans hadn't even warned their other colonies yet. "Begin the approach," he ordered. "Same formation as before." The Vexari warships moved into position, preparing their bombardment sequence. The colony below appeared quiet, almost abandoned. "Admiral," his sensor officer called out suddenly, "I'm detecting anomalous energy readings from the planet's surface." Krell frowned. "Explain." "They appear to be..." The officer never finished his sentence. From the planet's surface, a dozen pinpoints of intense white light erupted skyward. The Vexari sensors identified them too late. Earth's newest weapon system, the Hermes strike platforms, mobile surface-launched weapons designed specifically for planetary defense against orbital threats. 3 Vexari ships vanished instantly as the hypervelocity projectiles tore through their shields. Another 2 suffered critical damage, tumbling out of formation as secondary explosions rippled across their hulls. "Evasive maneuvers!" Krell shouted as his flagship rocked violently. "Get us out of orbit." His tactical officer looked up in horror. "Admiral, we have multiple contacts emerging from FTL there." The space around Colonies suddenly bloomed with warp signatures as the 7th Fleet arrived. 6 Earth battle cruisers, led by the UES Leviathan, moved to encircle the remaining Vixari vessels. "This is Captain Daniel Fox of the United Earth ship Leviathan," a calm voice announced on all frequencies. "You have attacked sovereign human territory and murdered Earth. Citizens, surrender immediately or be destroyed." The news traveled quickly throughout the galaxy. The Vixari Dominion, conquerors of 17 worlds, had been decisively defeated in less than a week. Their invasion fleet was destroyed, their homeworld now blockaded by Earth warships. In the diplomatic halls of the Galactic Assembly, Ambassador Lin addressed the gathered representatives. "For generations, humanity has sought peaceful coexistence," she said. "We established colonies not for conquest, but for exploration and growth. We extended friendship to all species willing to reciprocate." She paused, her gaze sweeping the chamber. "But make no mistake, our desire for peace should never be mistaken for weakness. Our scattered colonies are not unprotected targets. They are the extended family of Earth, and Earth protects its own." The assembly chambers remained silent. As she continued, the Vixari leadership believed they were attacking isolated settlements far from help. They did not understand that humanity has never sent its children into space unguarded. They did not realize that our apparent lack of military presence was by design, not neglect. Ambassador Lin's voice hardened. "For centuries on our homeworld we have a saying, 'Here there be dragons.' It was written on ancient maps to warn explorers of dangerous, uncharted territories. The Vixari ventured into such territory when they attacked us, not understanding the warning signs." She looked directly at the Vixari delegation, now represented by a hastily appointed diplomatic team after their military leadership had been captured. "Let this be a lesson to any who might consider similar actions in the future. You may find our colonies inviting targets. You may believe us extended beyond our reach. You may think us weak because we prefer peace." Her final words echoed through the chamber. "But remember this. Attack human colonies and you do not find helpless prey. You stir dragons from their sleep, and once awakened, our fire burns very, very hot indeed."